Bukol ni BJ Pascual, pinagkaguluhan ng mga kapwa bading. Okay, bagong pantasya ng kababaihan ang sikat na photographer ng mga artista. It's the first time I'm featuring a photographer in this vlog and I'm so happy it's you. So, nag-check-in kaming dalawa sa Japanese Love Motel. Ito mo na yung walang break. So, obviously, I have a 14-year-old girl's body. Tinodo na namin yung pride. Ganito pala yung feeling ng mga pinapagawa ko sa mga models.
Ikinuwento ni BJ ang journey bilang
Incredibly talented BJ Pascual.
Iconic photographer, BJ
Pascual. BJ Pascual. BJ Pascual.
Tinapot si BJ Pascual.
Yeah. Ano na everyone? Good morning. Sobrang excited ako today and medyo kinakabahan because hindi ako nasa likod ng camera but I will be in front of the camera, meaning hindi ako yung photographer today and I will be photographed for the cover of Preview Magazine's June issue. Sobrang hindi ko talaga ina-expect at all. This will be for their Pride issue and you all know how Pride is important to me, so sobrang honored talaga ako to be gracing this month's cover. Today we will also be shooting with one of my favorite photographers, Regine David. If you have seen my Calvin Klein shoot from 2019, na Pride shoot din siya. Regine also shot that, and if you guys don't know, Regine is a very accomplished photographer. She has worked in several international markets like Tokyo, New York, Hong Kong, and of course the Philippines. She has shot for ID Japan, Days Digital, The Face, Nylon Japan, L'Officiel. She also shot yung L'Officiel cover ni Nadine. Super excited to be seeing her again. I haven't seen her in a while, so magchichikahan kami later. Also yung shoot today, it's very different from my usual style. So nag-usap kami ni Regine beforehand and she wanted it to be very minimalist lang, studio backdrop lang, and she wanted gradients lang sa background to symbolize pride. And also, yung highlight nung shoot today will be the Havaianas Pride slippers. And sobrang exciting kasi naalala ko noong early 2000, sobrang uso talaga nung Havaianas. And parang nagbabalik talaga siya ngayon because I've been seeing a lot of Korean actors and Korean pop stars wearing flip-flops in Korea.
I saw
Song Joong-ki.
wearing army pants and flip-flops, so I bought army pants and flip-flops.
So, parang medyo sakto yung timing net. Masaya to play around with the concept kasi uso rin ang early 2000s trend ngayon. So, the clothes, eto medyo naisip ko lang randomly when we were talking. Parang cute to combine yung style ni David and Victoria Beckham as a couple nung early 2000s because I was a fan, of course. Very monochromatic sila, very neutral colors yung mga suot nila. So, for this, yung twist is we're gonna make it very, very colorful to match, of course, with the Havaianas Pride slippers. Hindi ko alam how it's gonna turn out but sobrang I cannot wait to show you guys. So, if you want to see what's gonna happen today, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell and keep on watching. Tara!
There's gonna be one shot talaga na we're really gonna have him with his butt.
Ano yung igagawin natin dun sa G-string? The whale tail. Ay, yung white.
Parang cute.
The Regine David collection. Makeup na kami ngayon with Zid, one of my fave makeup artists.
So for today's look, you want him to look perfect basically. Parang
Ang pressure charing.
or yung peg kasi like runway models for Kim Jones.
Yung mukha na silang yun na yun.
Parang angelic. Pag tinignan mo parang wow. I feel like it's easy naman. You have great.
Thank you. Thanks, Ivy.
Are you okay if we pay for this? I think it's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, go. Go lang. Pag-feel kapag ako yung nag-shoot, parang very busy ako ganyan, abala, parang si Regine dyan sa likod. Very abala. So, ngayon parang feeling ko mas chill lang, ganyan.
I feel really at home shooting with BJ. This is our third time to work together.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's pretty much a muse of mine. Like,
Aww.
no, I mean,
Nakaka-proud naman yun. Charing. Regine David.
Because-
on Instagram, check out her work just because I'm such a fan. Kaya every time
Likewise.
I get the chance, request ko talaga. I really request for people I trust. Hindi ako makapaniwala na parang gawa tayo ng cover with preview na hindi ako yung photographer. Actually, never ko in-expect to in my whole life. Parang hindi siya dream kasi parang hindi.
We've been so used to like
Oo.
being at the back.
Oo. And parang seeing, of course, mga celebs sa cover, ganyan. I think, iba rin ang nadulot ng pandemic. Charik. No, but seriously, sobrang nakaka-proud din na parang they're open to featuring individuals from not only behind the scenes but from the LGBTQIA+ community. Kasi parang as we know, the fashion industry is full of people from the LGBTQIA+ community, and halos lahat nung behind the scenes talaga part of that community, and nakaka-proud.
and then lean back a little bit. Head up a little bit. Beautiful.
Nakikita ko siya sa mirror.
Nice. How are you feeling? Okay naman? Okay, that's cute.
Ganito pala yung feeling ng mga pinapagawa ko sa mga models. Ito si Joy from Stylized. Siya na rin yung nail artist. Hindi lang limited lang yung number of people allowed. So ikaw mag-explain ng look na to kasi siya talaga yung stylist.
Very Bex.
Very Bex na ulit
Very
yung
Bex. Ganon.
My final hands from LV. Magkano to, Joy?
70 something, I think.
Yun din pala yung presyo ng mga designer pants usually. 80K, guys. If you wanna get the look, yung chinelas lang yung bilhin nyo. Naalala ko dati talaga nung college, lahat ng uso bawal sa dress code. Like, basta may something uso, ilalagay nila sa dress code, bawal.
So basically, kung okay yung damit, wala ba?
Bawal. Yeah. Ilang beses na ako na DO sa chinelas.
Alam mo, actually, this is really funny. I only wore Habianas. First of all, I have big feet. So, it really fit me. Two, parang siguro I bought like 12 pairs. I'm not even joking. I bought 12 pairs in the States. To the point na when I went to college in SCAD, I was in Hong Kong. Okay, sobrang lamig. Nakachinelas ako sa Disneyland. So I just thought it's really funny na parang Habianas nga yung sponsors. I was just like, haha. So I understand the mood board of the outfit.
Yes,
It
diba?
makes sense.
Third layout na. Super happy with everything. Ang saya. Very nostalgic yung look.
Look at me. Yan, love. Super douche moment. Hand in pocket, ganun. Relax your fingers. That's nice. That's good. Don't move.
A 33-year-old baby boy.
This is so cute. From the side. Maganda siya.
Okay, last layout na. And hindi pa ako kumakain. But I'm so happy kasi, well, di ako napapagod pag nakikita ko kasi maganda yung photos. Tinodo na namin yung pride. Anong tawag ito? Halter, no?
Halter, yeah.
Halter crop top. Kasi as in personal halter crop top siya ni Regine. Nung 14 years old siya. So obviously I have a 14-year-old girl's body.
That's so good. Nice, nice, nice. Smile with a smirk. Mood lang. Okay.
Ayan pang notebook.
Head up ng kate. Your hands down first. And then you bring this up. Yes. So, this is the last aerobic situation.
we have one of my favorite collaborators. We've shot together, I think, 3 times na, no?
Yeah, 3 times.
And she's one of the very few local photographers I really look up to. Wow, look up to!
Grabe!
Really, kaya palagi ko siyang nire-request pag meron akong shoot. Regine David! Hello!
everyone.
How have you been?
Really chill. As in, I just stay at home, play video games. It's really fun. Don't let anyone know that. Just kidding. I'm working a lot. No.
Yeah, and you had like recently a group show with Targier, right?
Yeah,
For
so we
art
had
fair.
a group show called TARP, literally TARP, like tarpaulin. And it was a group show with a lot of other photographers. And it was a public show. So anyone could pass by and see.
Yes, and nabenta, di ba?
Yeah, yay!
No, because
Super happy.
Regine's work is very sensual. Parang you shoot a lot of guys. Yun kasi yung parang feeling ko weak point ko. I don't shoot a lot of guys. That's why, I don't know, ang taas ng respect ko for that. Working with her, and makikita niyo yun today sa mga behind the scenes, I'm super comfortable with her. Kahit ano yung paggawa niya sa akin, gagawin ko talaga.
That's true, ha?
How's it been working during the pandemic?
I think my experience was a lot more different compared to others. A lot of people were still able to work, but I had to be a lot more careful about my space. Because, you know, I live with a lot of immunocompromised people. So instead of doing in-person shoots, I ended up doing work digitally and ended up selling artwork, stuff I already had. So that was with Shelter Fund last year. And then this year, it was with Targier. Like, I did do some work when I felt like it was safer. But then otherwise, it was a lot more introspective. Kasi, you know, parang I had to work within the limitations that were given to me. Because normally, it's like, shoot. And then this one was like, okay, what can I do with myself while I'm in this, like, isolated space. It was really nice because then I got to focus on what really got me excited.
Actually, same. Unlike before, kasi nga sabi mo nga parang everyday talaga yung shoot. I really didn't have time to think. Para feeling ko robot na ako. And then nung nag-pandemic, like, nagkaroon ng outlet, yung YouTube. Parang nakafocus din ako on visually what I really like instead of what I think other people like from my work.
Actually, I was gonna say, I'm so happy you entered YouTube. Kasi parang you started to have a lot of these images. Like, I saw the stuff you did for Team Magazine especially that were very like fun and kitsch. And you really explored that in the past couple of months.
Yeah.
And I think because you were given an avenue for yourself.
Kasi yung YouTube, parang walang client, get? So parang, I really just did it for myself.
Yeah.
Parang kaya yun. And I think a lot of your work, you do for yourself.
I'm a little selfish. I like
even-
having myself.
Yeah, and parang even your work with brands, it's very, very you. And that's what I admire the most. And you recently released a zine.
Yes.
Called Fever Dream, published by
Bad Student. We had the idea since 2019, but it only got executed in the pandemic. It was really therapeutic to release it kasi this is the first output I ever had that was of my personal work in a collection. I think for a lot of people, seeing men in a book or in an exhibition, it's still a little scary for like the Philippines or in our market. So this was like an outlet for me to kind of show people what I've shot. That's personal. These are people that are like my friends or, you know, my muses. I don't think any of these were shot for anyone else but for myself. It was really like a personal thing, like getting to know who they are and seeing them in my world, I guess.
Wala na, diba?
Yeah, it's sold out. So happy.
But-
We are doing a second edition.
Buti nga nakabili pa ako.
I'm
Actually,
so
ako yung
happy. Yeah, I think you might have been the first. I'm not sure. I don't know what
I
edition you
think
got. Nakalagay siya sa likod.
Oo, nakalagay siya sa likod, but
Pero
probably one of the first.
it was a little scary because like I have stuff directly from my diaries that I wrote here. I just figured, you know, obviously a lot of people during the pandemic, they had like a mind switch or like a parang what are we really doing? What really excites us? What makes life worth living? And I felt that if I didn't put myself out there, because I was so scared, na, you know what, this is it. I think there's no use like hiding myself or making myself quiet. And I think that's the whole point of why pride is important, why putting ourselves out there is important.
And I may or may not be in here.
For everyone that got it, thank you for supporting.
Do you remember the first time we met?
We like chatted
oo.
was DeviantArt. Do you guys know DeviantArt? Oh my God! Like,
Doon kami una nag-interact.
Wait, what was your username? Did you have a
Pantry
special...
boy.
I was anti-zero gravity.
Yes. Oo.
I loved Incubus.
Ako naman, I love The Smiths. Yung sa akin, The Smiths siya na
reference. I think the first time we actually met was in New York.
Almost 10 years after the first time we talked.
It's now wild. Because I think BJ was visiting New York at that time, and at that time I was still living there. I didn't even know that he was gonna be in that space. But I was just like, wait, hey! Like, you're BJ, I'm Regine. It's so nice to meet you. As in, it wasn't planned.
So, do you remember our first shoot together?
Tokyo!
Yes!
When I was
my
still
God.
living there.
Pumunta lang kami sa Japan for Regine. Like, everyone went to Japan for Regine because she was based there at the time. Like me, si Omar, and si Paco,
Yeah.
the director. We all went to Japan because
I
it
was
was
so honored.
For Pride also. And parang si Regine talaga yung first and like top of mind talaga when it comes to anything related to Pride or shirtless boys. But in the most respectful way. As in like, I swear, parang I never felt uncomfortable with Regine's directions.
Actually, it was always from their directions, always from the model.
Yeah.
So actually, siya yung nag-choose to, I know, get a very hot and steamy on camera. And you know what? He worked really hard for that shoot.
Yeah.
He worked out like crazy.
Like
parang
today.
That was really exciting because we shot in my apartment and we shot in a Japanese love motel.
Yes. So nag-check-in kaming dalawa sa Japanese love motel. And then the others rejected us, no?
Yeah,
The
parang
first
we went,
few,
the first few, they were just like,
Yeah.
that's how they do it.
Yeah.
Like, dame. So when we went in, sabi ko, ito na lang. You be the one to pay kasi lalaki siya. So,
Kasi
siya yung
yung
una.
una siya yung nakikipag-usap.
And they're not used to that. So, sabi ko, you just do it. You say nothing, just give the money. And then, ako na mag-choose ng room. So, of course,
Kasi meron talaga, kasi literally para silang may vending machine.
Of
Dapat
rooms.
Pipili ka ng room.
tapos parang there's like, parang may mga iba-ibang themes sila.
Yes,
So, we chose ano.
Yung medyo new wave pa nga yung...
Parang there was like, parang may jazz or something. May
Basta
jacuzzi pa. Like, it was really like, I mean, there were a lot of things that were on the table.
Yeah.
In this room. But it was amazing because the light actually was rainbow in the room.
As in
so
rainbow.
it
Like,
worked out.
Yeah, as in like yung reflection dun sa shine, dun sa body
chest.
ko. As in rainbow siya. Ang amazing.
So it really worked with our concept. And listen, BJ is one of the easiest people to work with. Like, he already understands my work. It's very fluid. Like, I barely have to give him direction. He understands the person. He understands their body. And like, their body of work as well. So parang, madali na eh. I didn't have to do anything. It was really great because like, in the shoot, it was BJ actually leading.
Yeah.
Like,
Tas
parang,
gusto mo na yung walang brief.
yeah,
Okay,
go!
go.
I mean, it was really, and I think that's what's important na parang as both a photographer and somebody that understands their lighting, parang you already, you knew what they were going for. So it was just second nature.
Yeah.
It was super easy. And I really appreciated the trust.
Well, I appreciated that you did the shoot. It was so special to me. And I think for a lot of gays who still message me about that shoot now.
Can I talk about, I really love there was a headline about BJ's
Oh my God,
photos.
my favorite headline. Pag nagkabahay ako talaga, ipapaprint ko yan beside, I bought your print, di ba, sa shelter fund na malaki. It's done na pala, naka-frame na
Oh my
siya.
God, I wanna see it.
It's so beautiful. Ipapaprint ko tong headline na to, beside that.
Sabi ko nga, my career has reached its limit the moment I saw that headline.
In Abante, bukol ni BJ Pascual, pinagkaguluhan ng mga kapwa bading. Okay, bagong pantasya ng kababaihan ang sikat na photographer ng mga artista. Blah, blah, blah. Ito, naglaway nga ang mga kababaihan at Becky sa mga inilabas na litrato niya suot ang brief. Given na, kanina ko pa sinasabi, I'm such a big fan. It's the first time I'm featuring a photographer, another photographer in this vlog, and I'm so happy it's you. Yung work ni Regine, it's always for me, parang celebrating sensuality, and it's like very queer for me.
I think that's always been like a basis for my work. It's always been inherently queer. I think because I identify as a queer person, I've always wanted to find something where I saw myself. There's a lot of intersectionality kasi it's like being queer, being a person of color, all of these things, I think they need to exist in my work. Like growing up in a Catholic schoolgirl, like in the Philippines, it was really important for me to explore gender and sensuality in my work. How else am I gonna do it other than to like explore how I saw men And then parang growing from there, how do my friends feel comfortable? Because I think what's important to me is to find safety and vulnerability. And I want that to be a big element. I want people to feel safe. The people I shoot, it's always been a two-way thing. Like, I always make sure that the model is comfortable where they are. I always make sure that they're never doing anything they don't want to do. Because even if it's me understanding them, I also want to give them the space to be who they are. And that's something I wish I saw more growing up. That's why I'm creating it.
Let's go back to where you studied, ganyan. How did that affect your work?
So I applied to art school abroad. This is the era of like photography or photographers kind of throwing things on set, getting
diva.
upset at people.
Yeah.
It was a diva. And it went with the time.
Yeah. It
Like America's
very much.
Next Top Model.
Yeah.
You know, it was that era.
Yeah.
But as a young parang photographer,
Yeah.
we were thinking, oh, you have to be like this. So people were banned from being on set. There were fights, there were feuds. Nobody wanted to share anything. And I never understood why people were so selfish about it. When you, as a young artist, you just wanted to learn. When I was a freshman at SCAD, I had met this one guy, but he would be like, oh, come with me, like, let's go shoot around. I would be like struggling. He's like, oh, no, you do this. And I'm like, why are you helping me out? I didn't understand it. And he was like, the whole point is we should all help each other out because we're all trying to be our best version of ourselves. Now, if you, parang, it's always going to be authentic to you because it's you learning it. That absolutely makes sense. Why are we not doing that here? We need to have a space where we're all helping each other out because it's, your work is personal to you, my work is personal to me. You know, these things are just technicalities, like how to light, you know, a set or like whatever, because the story of what you put out there is really yours. That's what sets you apart.
If everyone does well, all of us look good.
Yeah,
diba, in the
it's not
industry.
a battle against each other.
Yeah,
It really isn't.
oo. Even when I started YouTube, like, people were messaging me, bakit binibigay mo lang yung mga lighting mo dyan?
Like,
ng basta-"
why not?
Why not?
Actually, I almost memorized pretty much most of your shoots growing up. I don't know if you know this. I remember your
Feel
denim
old.
shoot.
Oh my God, yes.
With the braids.
Yeah.
I remember the shoot that you did with Pauline that was like very dystopian,
Yeah.
like all of those things. And, you know, for me, that was like the epitome of like how you should do a shoot. Like, it was so exciting to me. And I was like, my dream going to school was like, I want to be like this. And I'm really happy na parang right now we're working together. And like, I love that even if we grew separately, we crossed paths and like we're growing the same way.
We had very, very vastly different training grounds, diba? You more sa New York, and then me more here. But why tayo drawn to each other?
I don't know, bakla kasi tayo.
I know, true. And it's also funny that the shoots you mentioned were also my shoots for puro preview yun. And now, we're working together.
Yeah.
For
Alam mo ba,
preview. It's so
every
funny.
time you had a shoot for preview, I bought those magazines.
Oh my God, thank
Like,
you.
really, like, support.
Basta nag-click lang tayong dalawa.
Yeah.
And I think part din na kasi sobrang different ng work natin. There was really, parang I didn't feel any, alam mo yun, parang feeling ko hindi mo ako treated as competition. Parang it was just like very, like a loving relationship for us.
Even actually during the time, that was 2016, I think there was still that sense of like separation for a lot of photographers.
Oh, a lot. Hanggang ngayon.
2016, yeah. Pero that time, I really felt like some people were like, why are you meeting with BJ? I'm like, why not?
True.
Friends naman kami.
True.
So, ayun, I think it's different now. I think na I've at least for me, I have a lot of really good friends. Like Sanon, like Renzo, Koji, we're all friends. I mean, everyone, like Sunny, hi Sunny. Wala, kasi we all have our own identities. I mean, we're already all photographers. So there's that base level of like we will get along with a lot of things.
True. And
we can relate.
Especially photographers here in the Philippines, we know the struggles of each other. Parang I want to talk about also this editorial you did, supposedly for a Hong Kong magazine, diba? So it was a really, really beautiful editorial. You can show the pictures of Bruce and Lance, no?
Yeah.
You saw it in
Zambales. It was my mom's hometown.
So beautiful. And they were all wearing like puro mga Dior, LV,
Loewe,
ganyan, Loewe,
yeah.
all designer clothes. And then you submitted it to
the publication.
Yeah.
And then we just didn't hear from them. And we were like, what's going on? And then the stylist messaged them and they said, oh, they're too progressive. What does that even mean?
Yeah.
You know, they're skinny, blah, blah, blah. And later on they said, you know what, it's because they're brown. And you know, they don't fit the look of Louis Vuitton. They don't fit the look of Dior.
Nung binasa, I read your interview for Document Journal about this. They published this editorial eventually. And parang they said pa na parang, they don't look like they would be wearing Louis Vuitton and Dior. Parang ganon.
Do you realize how dehumanizing that is?
Nakakaloka.
Na parang, is there supposed to be a look of who can wear brands? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Parang ever since then, it became a lot more important for me to be like, let's make sure that people can see themselves in clothes. Whether it be like whatever size they are, whatever skin tone they have, whatever ethnicity they have. And parang it's the same thing, like when I shoot people, I shoot them because they allow themselves to be more open with me. And these are people that became my friends. I'm not shooting them because they're dark-skinned. I'm shooting them because they're my friends. Which is the same situation with Lance and Bruce.
Yeah.
Like they were my friends, and I knew how well they moved. I knew how they carried themselves.
Just goes to show how intersectional everything is.
Yeah.
Parang it's not just about being gay or being straight or being like bi or whatever, and not just your skin color, your culture. Parang it's all interconnected. As a cis female who also identifies as queer, what does pride mean to you?
I feel like it's as simple as pride being about love and acceptance. I mean, and representation. Finding yourself in a space is super important. Understanding that you are good enough is important. Making sure that you have a safe space is important. I think that's what pride can be. As simple as being proud.
Yeah. Especially for people from our generation who grew up na wala masyadong queer representation on TV or very, very limited. Because especially when I was young, puro ang napapanood ko lang mga Roderick Paulate, ganun. The things I was seeing on TV. Am I gonna end up like that? Not that there's anything wrong with that, but like, parang hindi ko lang makita yung sarili ko in that way. I don't know how old I was nung nagkaroon ng Sex and the City, and that's the first show I saw other gay men who were successful in their own jobs, gets.
Right. They
So
weren't
parang,
like a butt of the joke.
yeah,
or they
hindi sila
weren't
joke. In that way, for me, important talaga yung representation for young people to see na parang they are valid. And being a photographer especially, parang I always agree to do shoots like this for representation.
The first time I saw lesbians on screen, tattoo, they weren't even real.
Yeah,
But
it was manufactured.
It was manufactured, but it was the only one. It was the only time I saw na parang, oh my God, it's okay. On Friends, parang, there were two queer moms or two gay moms, and I was like, whoa, that can happen. Yay, Ellen, but also yikes, Ellen. Parang, I mean, they were very misguided representation, but
Very limited.
Very limited, but it opened the path for other types. Gottmik, they wanted to identify as like a feminine man. And they were saying like, okay, I don't identify with a masculine man, but I'm a trans man, so I wanted to exist for that. It's the same idea, like you have to keep on putting things that are important to you out there.
I think Gottmik is actually the first very feminine trans man I've ever seen. Even for me, that I'm part of the LGBTQIA, parang I'm not super exposed to people like them, diba?
I think what's important is to like celebrate who you are, because that's the only thing that you can really truly represent. You can give other people a voice, which is why it's still important. But also like to give yourself a voice, like you as a person, kasi that's just who you are.
What advice would you give to aspiring photographers out there?
Be as authentic as you can to yourself and to your identity. It's really important to put you as like the center of what you want to put out. And I think when you want to shoot things that are close to you, because that's going to give you your strongest foundation. Don't get scared. Find your community, because they're going to be the ones to support you, and keep on shooting, just keep on creating. Even if people don't respond to it at first, slowly people will start paying attention. Because when you're honest to your work, it's really going to show.
It's a different process for everyone.
Yeah.
You found your voice a lot sooner than a lot of other creatives in the Philippines, and it has been super inspiring talaga, even for me. For years, parang I just felt like I was a robot, I was lost, ganyan. With no vision for my work, parang I was just like doing whatever I thought other people liked.
Right.
When we started becoming friends, I would always see your work, and it's always so you. And it's always so authentic. Even at the time, hindi ko pa naisip yung word na authentic. So don't be pressured, I would say, to sa mga timelines ng mga friends nyo, sa mga colleagues nyo. Everyone has their own timeline. Just do you. A lot easier said than done.
Yeah. I mean, it literally took me like 15 years to get here. They're not good. They're really not good. They would not pass.
And it's okay.
And it's okay. That's the point. Parang, Actually, yun nga, pero I found a community of people
Yeah.
that that were willing to support me and vice versa. That's important eh. You can't also live in a bubble. You have to really open yourself up to other people.
And with that, we end this super long chikahan session with my favorite. Wala akong superlatives to define Regine because like nasabi ko na lahat I think today and baka feeling niyo OA na ako. But thank you so much Regine
Thank you for having
for
me.
chatting with me for like an hour.
No, this has been so
Yeah.
easy. It's so easy because it's wala eh. We're good friends. It's easy to talk to each other.
Yes, and thank you for the patience today with the shoot. Grabe.
I can't wait for you guys to see it.
I know all the photos. I'm so excited. And so there, I hope you guys enjoyed this very long episode. Chikahan with Regine. Let me know if you want me to feature other photographers in the future. But for now, don't forget to comment, share, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get updated on my next video. So see you guys next week. Bye!
Bye!
You take care, ha!